Beginning, the wrong number. My name is Ethan Cole, and until that night, my biggest problem was that my neighbor kept parking crooked in the apartment lot. I lived in a quiet building on the edge of New Seattle, a sprawling coastal city where the rain never quite stopped and the neon lights never turned off. The place wasn't fancy, just a 12-floor concrete tower with thin walls, flickering hallway lights, and a vending machine that only worked when it felt like it. But it was affordable. And after the year I'd had, affordable was good enough. I worked late shifts fixing navigation software for cargo drones, which meant I usually came home around midnight. My routine was always the same. Microwave dinner, scrolling through messages, then collapsing into bed before sunrise. That night should have been no different. Except I accidentally texted the wrong number. It started with a message meant for my coworker, Lena. We'd been troubleshooting a glitch in the drone routing system, and I needed to send her an update. I typed quickly. I think I figured out the bug in the navigation code. Also, your idea about rerouting through the orbital grid actually worked. I hit send. 2 seconds later, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Who is this? I frowned. Oh, great, I muttered. Wrong contact. I typed back. Sorry, wrong number. There was a pause. Then another message appeared. Unknown number. You are not Lena. Well, obviously, I said to the empty room. I started to put my phone down, but another message arrived. Unknown number. Your signal originates from building 1173, floor 8. I blinked. How did they know that? My address wasn't in the message. I hadn't shared my location. I stared at the screen, suddenly uneasy. How do you know where I live? I typed. 3 dots appeared immediately. Then the reply came. Unknown number. Because I live here too. I raised an eyebrow. Okay, weird coincidence. Then the next message came. Unknown number. Apartment 8B. My stomach dropped. Because I lived in 8A, right next door. I had never met the tenant in 8B. Actually, now that I thought about it, I had never even seen them. I typed slowly. Oh. Hi, neighbor. The typing indicator appeared again. Then the reply came. Unknown number. You contacted me first. I laughed nervously. Technically, that was an accident. Another pause. Then one more message appeared. Accidents can still be invitations. I stared at the phone. That's a strange thing to say. Before I could reply, there was a flash of blue light outside my apartment door. Then someone knocked. 3 precise knocks. I froze. It was nearly 1 a.m., and no one in my building knocked that politely. My phone buzzed again. A new message appeared from the same number. I am at your door. My heart skipped a beat. Middle, the neighbor who wasn't human. I stood there for a solid 10 seconds, staring at the door like it might explode. My brain ran through every possible explanation. A prank. A misunderstanding. A very committed delivery driver. But the message still glowed on my phone. I am at your door. And then the knocking happened again. 3 calm, patient taps. I swallowed and walked toward the door. Hello. I called cautiously. A voice answered from the hallway. Ethan Cole. My spine went stiff. I hadn't told the neighbor my name. Yeah, I said slowly. Please open the door. Something in her voice, soft, calm, strangely musical, made my curiosity outweigh my fear. I unlocked the door and pulled it open, and immediately realized something was very, very wrong, because the woman standing in the hallway was not human. She looked almost human at first glance. About my height, slender, long dark hair that shimmered faintly like starlight. Her skin had a pale silver tint, almost reflective under the hallway lights. But her eyes gave it away. They glowed faintly violet. Not contacts. Not reflections. actually glowing. She studied me with calm curiosity. "You are Ethan Cole," she said. My brain short-circuited. "Yes. Your message reached my device." I blinked. "You mean the text?" "Yes." "And you teleported here?" "Yes." She said it the way someone might say, "I took the elevator." I stared at her. "You're joking." She tilted her head. "No." I rubbed my face. "Okay. Either I'm hallucinating, or my neighbor is an alien who just teleported to my door because I texted the wrong number." "Yes," she said. "You're not helping." She looked thoughtful. "I apologize. Humans often require gradual information. You think." She stepped inside without waiting for permission. I was too stunned to stop her. She looked around my apartment with open fascination. "Your living environment is compact." That's a polite way to say tiny. She turned back to me. "My name is Lyra." "Lyra," I repeated slowly. "Yes." I gestured at her glowing eyes. "Are you from Earth?" "No." "That's what I thought." She walked to the window, looking out over the neon-lit city. "My species has maintained quiet observation of this planet for several years." "Observation," I repeated. "Yes." I blinked again. "You're saying aliens are living in my apartment building?" "Correct." I stared at the wall separating my apartment from 8B. "You've been living next door this whole time?" "Yes." "And the first time we talk is because I accidentally text you?" "Yes." I laughed in disbelief. "Of course." Lyra turned back toward me. "You seem calmer than most humans would be." "I work with software bugs all day," I said. "Reality breaking slightly feels familiar." She smiled faintly. It was subtle, but it softened her entire face. "I came because your message intrigued me." "My message was about drone navigation code." "Yes." "That's not intriguing." "To humans, perhaps." She stepped closer. "To us, it suggested intelligence." I scratched my head. "So, you teleported over here because you thought I was interesting?" "Yes." "That's flattering. And terrifying." She looked confused. "Why terrifying?" "Because you're an alien who can teleport." "Would you prefer I had knocked using the hallway?" "You already did." "Yes." I sighed. "This is the strangest night of my life." She considered that. "Statistically, it is also the most important." My eyebrows lifted. "Why?" She hesitated. For the first time since arriving, her calm expression wavered slightly. "Because I was not supposed to be discovered." The words hung in the air. "Wait," I said slowly. "So, if someone finds out about you, it could cause conflict between our species." "Great," I muttered. "No pressure." Lyra studied me carefully. "But you have not reacted with fear." "Give it time." "Instead," she continued, "you have asked questions. That's kind of my thing." She looked thoughtful. "You might be the first human I have spoken to directly." I blinked. "That's kind of an honor, I guess." "Yes." Then my phone buzzed again. But this time, it wasn't a text. It was a government alert. "Emergency notice. Unidentified energy surge detected in new Seattle residential zone. Investigation units dispatched." I looked up at Lyra. "Please tell me that wasn't your teleport." She winced slightly. "It may have been." "You triggered a government energy alarm." "Yes." I groaned. "That's bad." "How bad?" "If they trace it to this building," I said, "you're about to become the most famous alien in human history." Lyra looked genuinely concerned now. "That would violate several interstellar treaties." "Yeah," I said. "It would also break the internet." Sirens began wailing in the distance. I peeked out the window. Several black government vehicles were already pulling into the parking lot. Lyra followed my gaze. They're coming here. Yep. She looked at me. I should leave. Teleport again? Yes. That might trigger another alarm.
She paused.
That is inconvenient. I thought quickly. Then I said the most ridiculous sentence of my life. Okay, you're hiding in my apartment. She blinked. You would conceal an alien visitor from your own government? Right now, I said. It seems like the least weird option. Lyra looked at me with something new in her glowing eyes. Respect. You are an unusual human, Ethan Cole. Yeah, I said. I'm getting that a lot tonight. Ending. The secret between us. The knock on my door came 5 minutes later. This time it wasn't polite. Federal security, a voice shouted. I glanced toward the hallway closet. Lyra stood inside it, hidden behind my winter coats. You'll be quiet? I whispered. Yes. I opened the door. 2 agents stood outside with scanning equipment. Sir, one said, we detected an energy anomaly in this area. Have you noticed anything unusual tonight? I forced a casual shrug. Just my microwave exploding earlier. They scanned the apartment quickly. Devices hummed. Lights flashed. My heart pounded. Then the scanner beeped once and went silent. Nothing here, one agent muttered. They left. I closed the door and leaned against it in relief. Okay, I whispered. You can come out. Lyra stepped from the closet. Her glowing eyes met mine. You protected me. Well, I said, technically you're my neighbor now. She smiled again, this time a little brighter. Your species values loyalty. We try. She walked to the center of the room. I should return to my apartment. You're still next door? Yes. That's comforting and terrifying. She tilted her head. You do not regret contacting me? I laughed. Honestly, I accidentally texted an alien who teleported into my living room. Yes. That's the best mistake I've ever made. She stepped closer to the door. Before leaving, she looked back at me. Ethan Cole. Yeah. If you ever wish to speak again. She held up her communicator. You already have my number. Then she disappeared in another flash of blue light. My phone buzzed a second later. A new message appeared. Lyra. Good night, neighbor. I smiled at the screen, because somehow, in the quiet apartment building on the edge of New Seattle, the galaxy had just moved in next door. And it all started with a wrong text message.